test, test, test. Let's see. Let's see something here. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm just testing some stuff here before we start. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a video on YouTube. Can you guys hear me? Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm just hold on. What's happening? What's happening? Let's see here. You guys can hear me? Okay, cool. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna play a video on YouTube. I just want to make sure that all of you can hear what can hear the video. Let me see. Hey, Christopher, brother, it seems like it's kind of echoey. Okay. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna play a random video. I just want to see if you guys can hear this or not. Just tell me in the comments if you can hear the video when I'm about to play it.
When I was 12 years old, my guides told me in
You guys can hear the video when I played that? No problems, no echoes or anything like that? Sweet, perfect. Okay. So today, what we're going to be doing is, let me just clear some stuff up here because I had a lot of stuff open from earlier today. Perfect, thank you guys, I appreciate that. Awesome. We're going to be having a little bit of fun today now that I could share my screen and stuff. I figured what we're going to do is we're going to, for the hell of it, watch some of the Prince Andrew interview and basically do commentary. And I was trying to do like a virtual, what's it called? I was trying to do like a virtual bingo card where like we cross off certain things that the elites usually do when they deny the sex trafficking stuff. But honestly, I figured it might get taken down for that. So, hold on. All right, so hold on. Some are saying the mic is echoey, others are saying it's good. Hold on. Scott. Oh, it's the mic. Okay, 1 second, guys. Yeah. Hold on a second. Audio input caption. Audio. I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let's try this. All right, is the echo gone or no? I don't have two screens. It's broadcasting the screen itself, which is kind of interesting. But can you guys hear me or no? If you can hear me, if there's no echo, it means I got it right. Then we can get started. Okay. Sweet, sweet. All right, sweet, awesome. Oh, Marfans, thank you. I just wanted to what's it called? I was just trying to set stuff up. Let me see. Yeah, I think I've been shadow banned on YouTube, but I'm not sure. Sweet. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now let's play. I'm just gonna play this. Let me know how it comes out on your end for the final time, and then we'll start.
That fucking system!
We've got to get this man off the floor.
As soon as I become a threat, they're gonna try and shut us down.
Defend the machine. Hit this guy.
CNN ran a giant smear.
You're killing it.
You really do speak the truth. I watch your videos all the time.
Were you guys able to hear that? Were you guys able to hear that video that I played? Like without any issues or whatever? Okay, cool. Thank you. Perfect. Let's see. All right, sweet, sweet. Okay, so with regards to the microphone, I'm working on that. Trust me, as we speak. This is kind of like a bit of a test, but I figured I'd do this as well too. Oh well, yeah, because Christopher, brother, yeah, I did. What's it called? I paused it myself. That's why. All right, sweet, sweet. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at, just for the hell of it, we're going to be looking at the Prince Andrew interview. We're going to break it down. I know it's a little bit old, but I think with all the things that have been coming to light recently, we could look at that, and it'll definitely be some fun. So let's jump into it. This thing makes me laugh every single time. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like sort of fact check him whenever he says something. We'll search it up or whatever. So we'll have some fun with that and see where that goes. So let's go. Which, by the way, I'm extremely surprised that BBC, who did the interview, didn't what's it called? Didn't block out the comments. Let's see.
Release, and you were invited as the guest of honor.
Everybody see this? Somebody's saying they see 5 of me. Sorry guys, this is just because it's the first time. I'm just experimenting with it. I just want to make sure I got it right. You guys can all see this? Hold on a sec. Just give me 1 second, everyone. And audio too, yeah? Okay. Sweet. All right, let's start this. This is going to be fun. This is going and funny.
We've come to Buckingham Palace in highly chosen to speak out for the first time. Why have you decided to talk now?
Because there is no good time to talk about Mr. Epstein and all things associated and work that I was doing. And unfortunately, we've just not been able to fit it into either your schedule or my schedule until now. And actually, it's a very good opportunity, and I'm delighted to be able to see you today.
As you say, all of the...
Okay, so you see that right there? You see that quick little blink as he looked down? He's shitting his pants, I guarantee you.
This goes back to your friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. How did you first become...
Fine, who, and I'd known her since she was at university in the UK. And it would be, to some extent, a stretch to say that as it were, we were close friends. I mean, we were friends because of other people. And I had a lot of opportunity to go to the United States, but I didn't have much time with him. I suppose I saw him once or twice a year, perhaps maybe maximum of 3 times a year. And quite often, if I was in the United States and doing things, and if he wasn't there, he would say, well, why don't you come and use my houses? So I said, that's very kind, thank you very much indeed. But it would be...
Okay, thank you, that's very kind, thank you much indeed. So you're a member of the royal family. Of all the places that you can go to, especially in New York City, you decide to stay with the one guy who just so happens to be seen with underage girls all around him constantly every single day. But anyways, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt right now.
A considerable stretch to say that he was a very, very close friend, but he had the most extraordinary ability to bring extraordinary people together. And that's the bit that I remember, is going to the dinner parties where you would meet academics, politicians, people from the United Nations. I mean, it was a cosmopolitan group of...
Okay, so hold on. He had the ability to bring extraordinary people together. Let's take a look here. Let's just think of an extraordinary person. I mean, Bill Clinton's extraordinary, right? Let's just make sure. Okay. So, you guys make of that what you will. I'm not even trying to, like, seriously. Okay. Right, that's considered extraordinary, I would imagine. But, you know, you kind of get the point.
What I would describe as U.S. eminence.
Was that his appeal then? Was that
Yeah.
what you... Because you were perceived by the public as being the party prince. Was that something you
Well, I
shared?
think that's also a bit of a stretch. I don't know why I've collected that title, because I never have really partied. I was single.
Okay, so you see that right there? He said he's never really partied, but okay, like I said, let's just, you
For
know.
quite a long time, in the early 80s. But then after I got married, I was very happy, and I've never really felt the need to go and party, and certainly.
Okay, so this is what's funny. Let's take a look. Just a simple. All right. Okay, guys, so he's never felt the need to party. I don't see any pictures of him partying. I mean, looks like he's having a good time. I wouldn't call it partying. Again, because remember, folks, the royal family, they're very, very different from us. They're very, they kind of set their own terms in terms, with regards to the definition of things. I mean, this is partying is an interesting way to put it, but I mean, he's not partying. He's just in a group of people of other, amongst a bunch of people that are having a good time. But okay, so let's just.
Going to Jeffrey's was not about partying. Absolutely not.
You said you weren't very good friends, but would you describe him as a good friend? Did you trust him?
Yes, I think I probably did. But again, I don't go into a friendship looking for the wrong thing, if you understand what I mean. I'm an engaging person. I want to be able to engage.
What does he mean? I'm really not trying to look at every single word. Actually, I am. What does he mean by engage? He wants to
I want to find out. I want to learn. And so you have to remember that I was transitioning out of the Navy at the time. And in the transition, I wanted to find out more about what was going on, because in the Navy, it's a pretty isolated business because you're out at sea the whole time. And I was going to become the special representative for international trade and investment. So I wanted to know more about what was going on in the international business world. And so that was another reason for going there. And the opportunity.
You see that right there? What he's saying in his own head right there is, holy shit, I'm already in a corner and it's not even been 5 minutes.
Opportunities that I had to go to Wall Street and other places to learn whilst I was there were absolutely vital.
He was your guest as well. In 2000, Epstein was a guest at Windsor Castle and at Sandringham. He was brought right into the heart of the royal family at your invitation.
But certainly at my invitation, not at the royal family's invitation. But remember that it was his girlfriend. That was the key element.
Okay, so you see how he just paused right there? He's making it up as he goes. No matter how much preparation you can put into this guy's making it up like we wouldn't. I mean, we would believe it, but I mean, the fact that he said that Ghislaine is the key element to this, that really didn't pan out so well for him.
In this, he was the, as it were, +1 to some extent in that aspect.
Am I right in thinking you threw a birthday party for Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, at Sandringham?
No, it was a shooting weekend.
A shooting weekend?
Just a straightforward shooting weekend.
It was a shooting weekend, guys. So what's he referring to as a shooting weekend? That's what I'm trying to. That's what I want to know here. What's this shooting weekend? I mean, you go hunting or you go shooting in the backyard, and to them a backyard is 5,000 acres. So but I'm just trying to think, what's the difference between anyways, you know what I mean.
But during these times that he was a guest at Windsor Castle, at Sandringham, the shooting weekend,
Yep.
we now know.
Someone said +1. Yeah. Oh, Camden. Yeah, exactly. +1.
that he was and had been procuring young girls for sex trafficking.
We now know that. At the time, there was no indication to me or anybody else that was what he was doing. And certainly, when I saw him either in the United States, when I saw him in the United States, or when I was staying in his houses in the United States, there was no indication, absolutely no indication. And if there was, you have to remember that at the time, I was patron of the NSPCC's Full Stop campaign.
Is Ghislaine Mossad? Somebody asked? Yeah, exactly.
And so I was close up with what was going on in those time about getting rid of abuse to to children, so I knew what the things were to look for, but I never saw them.
So you would have made that connection before.
So, hold on. He said that he knew what to look for. So keep that in mind, by the way. This is just the first 6 minutes of the interview. He said he knew what to look for. All right? So, I don't know. Let's see. He knew what to look for. I don't... does it get any, like, you know, at that point, does it... I don't understand. What else is there to look for? I mean, it's right there. Again, unless it's photoshopped, but, you know, so... Oh, look, even this one. This is from the clip where Epstein's... Look, this is the part where he says bye to the girl by going like this with his fingers. There's footage on this, by the way. There's legit on, like, full-on footage. So, anyways...
Because you stayed with him, you were a visitor, a guest on many occasions at his homes, and nothing struck you as suspicious during that whole time.
Nothing.
Just for the record, you've been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes.
You visited Ghislaine Maxwell's house in Belgravia in London.
Yes.
So, in 2006, in May, an arrest warrant was issued for Epstein for sexual assault of a minor.
Yes.
In July, he was invited to Windsor Castle to your daughter, Princess Beatrice's 18th birthday. Why would you do that?
Because I was asking Ghislaine. But even so, at the time, I don't think certainly I wasn't aware when the invitation was issued what was going on in the United States. And I wasn't aware until the media picked up on it.
So you'd think that before the royal family sends out an invitation, you would honestly think that, that you know, they would kind of check out what their billionaire buddy's been up to in the U.S. kind of thing, but, you know.
He never said anything about it.
He never discussed with you the
Never
fact
discussed
that an arrest warrant had been
No.
issued. So he came to that party knowing police were investigating him.
Well, I'm not quite sure whether was it police that I don't know. You see, this is the
It was
problem.
the British police at the time.
But I mean, I'm afraid, you see, this is the problem.
That's a bunch of bullshit. He didn't know. Yeah, okay. All right.
Is that an awful lot of this was going on in the United States, and I wasn't a party to it, and I knew nothing about it.
In 2008, he was convicted of
Yep.
soliciting and procuring a minor for prostitution. He was jailed. This was
Yes.
your friend. How
Yes.
did you feel about it?
Well, I ceased contact with him after I was aware that he was under investigation, and that was later on in 2006. And I wasn't in touch with him again until 2010. So
Okay, so just that alone right there. He wasn't in touch with him until 2010. So he's trying to justify, or at least imply, that because there was a space, there was a gap between him not speaking to his, you know, convicted sex offender friend, that somehow, you know, this is fine. But anyways.
it was one of those things that somebody's going through that sort of thing. Well, I'm terribly sorry, I can't be.
So no
associated-
contact?
No contact.
When he was serving time, there was no call, no letter, nothing there?
No.
He was released in July. Within months, by December of 2010, you went to stay with him at his New York mansion. Why? Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right. I have always, ever since this has happened, and since this has become, as it were, public knowledge that I was there, I've questioned myself as to why did I go, what was I doing, and was it the right thing to do? Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together.
Okay, so hold on. I just want to make something very clear about the whole, like, the principle about this. He's trying to make it seem like that he went to go see Epstein to say that, you know, it's right that, you know, it's wrong for us to be seen together. Not that, holy shit, Jeff, you're raping underage girls. You know what I mean? There's a big difference there. So for him, he's still making it seem like, well, you know, because of the spotlight on me, we can't be seen together. But God knows how they, you know, in private or in secret, anyways. Let's carry on.
And I had a number of people counsel me in both directions, either to go and see him or not to go and see him. And I took the judgment call that because this was serious, and I felt that doing it over the telephone was the chicken's way of doing it. I had to go and see him and talk to him.
Okay, so hold on. The chicken, okay, fine. You know what? Fair. Let's give him that. Doing it on the phone, on text, whatever. It's the chicken's way. If you're gonna go see him, you say, Jeff, let's meet for lunch, and you tell him like that, or not even, and then you go your separate ways. It should take maximum like an hour and a half. That's it. Not a 4-day stay at his place.
And I went to see him, and I was doing a number of other things in New York at the time. And we had an opportunity to go for a walk in the park.
Hold on. Somebody asked, is he a designated fall... Oh, Christopher asked if he's a designated fall guy. Oh, he certainly made himself out to seem like it here.
And that was the conversation, coincidentally, that was photographed, which was when I said to him, I said, look, because of what has happened, I don't think it is appropriate that we should remain in contact. And by mutual agreement during that walk in the park, we decided that we would part company, and I left, I think it was the next day. And to this day, I never had any contact with him from that day forward.
What did he say when you told him that you were breaking up the friendship?
He was what I would describe as understanding. He didn't go into any great depth in the conversation about what I was doing or what he was doing, except to say that he'd accepted whatever it was, a plea bargain. He'd served his time, and he was carrying on with his life. You see what I mean? And I said yes, but I'm afraid to say that's as may be. But with all the attendant scrutiny on me, then I don't think it is a wise thing to do.
Who advised you then that it was a good idea to go and break up the friendship? Did that come from...
Well, you might not be able to hear it here, but the interviewer asks who advised you to go. Did it come from the palace? And then she said, did it come from Her Majesty the Queen? And also, by the way, guys, I just want to say, I have no idea why the royals are still, like, don't even get me started on this. I have no idea why they have these names. I got no idea why they get all this money. Like, I live in Canada. We're still part of the Commonwealth. My tax dollars go towards this jackass, basically, some of it.
And the palace was Her Majesty the Queen involved?
No. That came from... So there were a number of people who so some people from my staff, some people from friends and family I was talking to, and I took the decision that it was, I had to show leadership, and I had to go and see him, and I had to tell him, that's it.
That was December of 2010.
Yep.
He threw a party.
Someone goes, how many Yeah, we're only 11 minutes in.
To celebrate his release, and you were invited as
No,
the
I didn't
guest
go.
of honor.
Oh, in 2010, there certainly wasn't a party to celebrate his release in December, because it was a small dinner party. There were only 8 or 10 of us, I think, at the dinner. If there was a party, then I'd know nothing about that.
If there was a party, so there was only a small dinner party, 8 or 10 of us. But if there was a party, I know nothing about that. Okay.
You were invited to that dinner as a guest of honor.
I was there, so there was a dinner. It wasn't quite as you might put it, but yeah, okay. I was there.
You guys see that? He just said he wasn't there, and then she says, I got to give it to her. For a mainstream media broadcaster, this is pretty good. She pressed him without making him get up and say, F this, right? But my God, she just, nice and calm, she let him dig his own grave. He said he wasn't there. He said he never went, and then all of a sudden she says, but you were invited as the guest of honor. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just trying to work this out, because you said you went to break up the relationship, and yet you stayed at that New York mansion several days. I'm wondering how long...
But I was doing a number of other things while I was there.
But you were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
Jesus Christ, do you hear that? It was a convenient place to stay. What? What's so convenient? I mean, okay, like, other than it being probably the biggest, townhouse apartment in New York, it's not really that hard for someone of the royal family to get a place, maybe not as big, but just as nice. I mean, you can't, I'm not...
I mean, I've gone through this in my mind so many times.
Oh, stupid ads. Hold on.
When I was 12 years old, my guides told me
Okay.
At the end of the day, with the benefit of all the hindsight that one could have, it was definitely the wrong thing to do. But at the time, I felt it was the honourable and right thing to do. And I admit fully that my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable.
My judgment was covered by my tendency to be too honorable. So let's break that down for a second. So his way of thinking, the way that he as a royal processes information, because, folks, he doesn't process information like you or I do, right? So his way of processing information was shrouded in his his honorability.
But that's just the way it is.
Because during that time, those few days, witnesses say they saw many young girls coming and going at the time. There is video footage of Epstein accompanied by young girls. And
The video footage she's talking about here is the footage we just looked at when we were on Google Images there.
you were there staying in his house, catching up with friends.
I mean, if they were, then I wasn't a party to
So I never, and then if there were, okay, I'm gonna keep.
the house. I described it more as a almost as a railway station, if you know what I mean, in the sense that there were people coming in and out of that house all the time. What they were doing and why they were there, I had nothing to do with.
So there were people coming in and out of that house all the time. If I was the interviewer, I would say, okay, so do you remember which type of people? Were they, I don't know, mostly female? Did they kind of look like they were on the younger side, like, or were they, just all, males, tall, adult males, like, who was going in and out?
I'm afraid I can't make any comment on that because I really don't know.
Another guest was John Brockman, the literary agent. Now, he describes...
You see, look at his face. Look at his face. I think I can act better than that. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me. Just look at his face. Like, look at his eyes right there. You see that?
seeing you there, getting a foot massage from a young Russian woman. Did that happen? You're absolutely sure, or
Yeah.
you can't remember?
Absolutely sure.
So John Brockman's statement is false.
I don't know Mr. Brockman, so I don't know what he's talking about.
But that definitely...
I'm not going to look it up because it's just a waste of time, but he knows Mr. Brockman. They've met. There's pictures with them. The literary agent, yeah, he knows him.
Wasn't you getting a foot massage from a Russian girl in Jeffrey Epstein's house?
No.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship. A 4-day house party of sorts with a dinner. It's an odd way to break
It's a
up
difficult
friendship.
way of putting it. That's a very stark way of putting it. Yes, you're absolutely right. But actually, the truth of it is that I actually only saw him for about the dinner party, the walk in the park, and probably passing in the passage.
So, in other words, every form of public evidence that the court has, that's when he was with Epstein. But everything that the court doesn't, or that the courts don't have, I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not sure.
So let's go to that Central Park walk,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
snapped. Friends of yours suggest that Epstein wanted that photo taken. Perhaps he'd even set it up.
He guaranteed set it up. Epstein wanted proof of, footage of he wanted everything and anything. He didn't care about incriminating himself because for at least, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, he knew he would get out of it because of the Mossad and stuff. But anyways.
Do you worry that you were being played?
Again, new information is coming out since his suicide has made us reappraise that walk in the park. We can't find any evidence, or my staff and my people and I can't find any evidence to suggest that that was what he was doing. I mean, you can look at it in so many different ways. The fact of the matter is that somebody very cleverly took that photograph. It wasn't, as far as I remember, nor do my security people remember anybody being present or close, because there were enough security around. I mean, there are photographs of the security people are around in the photo.
That's how he basically gave up the fact that Epstein took that picture, even if he doesn't know it himself. I'm not even kidding, because if the security was as tight as he said, and the security for the royal family's pretty fucking strong, Epstein would have to have some type of way of getting in there beforehand. And then later on, Epstein must have said, hey, let's just go for a quick walk in the park. And, Epstein was pretty well known to be able to manipulate Prince Andrew and many others. So, yeah, kind of makes sense.
So, I mean, he could have done, but
Yeah. I guess what I'm asking is, do you feel that you were part of Epstein's public rehabilitation?
Oh, no. Funny enough, I don't.
Oh, what a jackass. No. I'm not.
I mean, if he was doing, if that photograph was taken with that purpose in mind, then it doesn't equate to what actually happened.
So why wouldn't you announce?
Compton, our friend Compton said regarding security, absolutely. They also have a VIP room and no security inside. Okay, makes perfect. Okay.
This breakup when you got back, why wouldn't you publicly explain what you'd done? Did you worry that he had something that could compromise you?
No.
No, nothing. By the way, my British accent is terrible, so please forgive me if anyone here is British, but you see that right there? You see this face? You see this right here? This is, holy shit, he's got so much stuff on me right now that I don't even know why the hell I sat down for this interview, but...
Do you regret that trip?
Yes.
Do you regret the whole
Someone said he just realized he was set up. He probably just realized in this interview.
Opportunities that I was given to learn, either by...
When he said that he does not regret the relationship overall because of the people that he met and the opportunities he was given to learn, he better be specific, because that's vague. That could mean sex. Like that's pretty damn vague.
Him, or because of him, were actually very useful. He himself, not, as it were, as close as you might think. We weren't that close. So therefore,
oh yeah. I
mean, yes, I would go and stay in his house, but that was because of his girlfriend, not because of him.
Was that visit, December of 2010, the only time you saw him after he was convicted?
Yes.
Did you
Yeah.
see him or speak to him again?
No, that was that.
Never
Funny enough, 2010 was it. That was it, because I went. Well, first of all, I wanted to make sure that if I was going to go and see him, I had to make sure that there was enough time between his release, because it wasn't something that I was going into in a hurry, but I had to go and see him. I had to go and see him. I had to
stay with him and stay in the house.
I
of a
could
convicted
easily have
sex
gone and
offender.
stayed somewhere else, but sheer convenience of being able to get a hold of the man was. I mean, he was in and out all over the place. So getting him in one place for a period of time to actually have a long enough conversation to say, look, these are the reasons why I'm not going to. And that happened on the walk.
July of this year, Epstein was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and abusing dozens of underage girls. One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts,
Yeah.
has made allegations against you. She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia.
You see this face right there? That's the holy shit face. That's what that, I mean, at least to me, that's what that is.
To Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
She says she met you in 2001. She dined with you. She danced with you. You bought her drinks. You were in Tramp nightclub in London. And she went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Didn't happen.
Hold on. It didn't happen, or he didn't remember? There's a difference, because he's been flip-flopping with that this whole interview. So, and we're not even fully halfway through, but anyways.
Do you remember her?
No. I have no recollection of ever meeting her. I'm almost, in fact, I'm convinced that I was never in Tramps with her. There are a number of things that are wrong with that story. One of which is that I don't know where the bar is in Tramps.
Okay, hold on. Anyone seen what Tramps nightclub looks like? Has anybody seen that? Just look at this. He said he didn't know where the bar was in Tramps, right? Okay. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Holy crap, you're kidding me. The bar's right there. Like, the bar is right. How do you not see where it is? Like, that's another thing. But, okay. Again.
I don't drink. I don't think I've ever bought a drink in Tramp whenever I was there.
So hold on. He doesn't know where the bar is? How do you not know where the bar is, and then he never bought a drink when he was there? He might as well at this point just say, you know what, I couldn't have been there because I was dead. I couldn't be there.
You remember dancing at Tramp?
No. That couldn't have happened because the date that's being suggested, I was at home with the children.
You know that you were at home with the children. Was it a memorable night?
On that particular day that we now understand that is the date, which is the 10th of March,
What he just said right there, those last two sentences, is what you want to do in high school when you're trying to fill out an essay and you don't have any more legitimate things to write and you just bullshit. That right there, the day that we understand, which is now the day that we now know to be the 10th of March. Okay, so.
I was at home. I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking for a party at I suppose sort of 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then because the Duchess was away, we have a simple rule in the family that when one's away, the other one's there. I was on terminal leave at the time from the Royal Navy, so therefore I was at home.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being at home?
Because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing for me to do. I've only been to Woking a couple of times, and I remember it weirdly distinctly. But as soon as somebody reminded me of it, I went, oh yes, I remember that.
What? Did you see that? So going to a Pizza Express is a very unusual thing for me to do. I'm not going to pull it up just because it takes way too much time right now, but I know for a fact he's been seen going in and out of Pizza Expresses for many years. Pizza Express, from my understanding, has some of the best reviews, at least within that area of London, but I could be wrong. However, he has been seen multiple times, and the fact that he just said, oh, well, when someone told me that I've been to a Pizza Express that day, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
But I have no recollection of ever meeting or being in the company or the presence.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March?
Yeah.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating.
The sweating.
And she went on to have...
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys about this. Do I really need to pull up the sweating thing? I mean, I think everyone knows about the sweating thing.
bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating, because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was, oh, actually, yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at.
So hold on. So he didn't sweat. So he's saying that he didn't sweat, but hold on a second. He's saying he didn't let's just go step by step here. Let's take a look. This is too good. I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having fun. Sweating. This one's good too. Holy crap. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh yeah, no, but he he can't sweat, guys. Okay, let's get back to this.
And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat, and it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So I'm afraid to say that there's a medical condition that says that I didn't do it, so therefore.
Is it possible that you met Virginia Roberts, dined with her, danced with her in Tramp, had sex with her on another date?
No.
Do you remember meeting her at all?
No.
Do you know you didn't meet her?
So he doesn't remember the doubt here.
Or do you just not remember meeting her?
No, I don't know if I've met her, but no, I have no recollection of meeting her.
Because she was very specific. She described the dance that you had together in Tramp. She described meeting you. She was a 17-year-old girl meeting a senior member of the royal family.
Never happened.
Never happened.
She provided a photo of the
Yes.
two of you together.
Yes,
Your arm was around her waist.
yes.
You've seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
So has everyone here seen the photograph? Hold on, I'm just putting the Oh yeah, the reporter knows this is BS for sure, for sure.
I can't. Because I have absolutely no memory of that photograph ever being taken.
Do you recognize yourself in the photo?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult not to recognize yourself.
Your friend suggested that the photo is fake.
I think it's from the investigations that...
You guys haven't seen the photograph? Okay, I'm pulling up the photograph. This is too good. Virginia picture. This right here is the picture. So when the interviewer asks, is your hand around her? That's Ghislaine Maxwell. That is the man of the hour himself. And this is Virginia Giuffre. And that is Prince Andrew's hand around her waist. Now, this was taken in Ghislaine Maxwell's apartment in London. Epstein took the picture, allegedly. So...
We've done, you can't prove whether or not that photograph is faked or not, because it is a photograph of a photograph of a photograph. So it's very difficult to be able to prove it. But I don't remember that photograph ever being taken.
But it's possible that it was you with your arm around
That's
her waist.
me, but whether that's my hand or whether that's the position, but I don't. I have simply no.
So that's him, but whether or not that's his hand. Okay.
Recollection of a photograph ever being taken.
The world has now seen the photo that Virginia Roberts provided, taken by Epstein, we understand, in Ghislaine Maxwell's house.
Well, here's the problem. I've never seen Epstein with a camera in my life.
I think it was Virginia Roberts' camera. She said a little Kodak one that she lent to Epstein. He took a photo.
You see this right here, guys? You see that right there? So he thought he got her. He thought, I'll tell her. You know, I've never seen Epstein with a camera. That'll do it. And then she's like, no. But Virginia Giuffre always had a camera. She lent it to Epstein. And then, you see that?
And your arm is round her
listen,
waist.
I don't remember that photograph ever being taken. I don't remember going upstairs in the house because that photograph is taken upstairs.
That's another thing. You see what he just said? I don't remember that photograph being taken in the house because that photograph was taken upstairs. But I've never been upstairs. So, okay, forget the first part about the house. How did you remember, or how did you know that it was taken upstairs if you've never been upstairs?
And I'm not entirely convinced that, I mean, that is what I would describe as me in that picture, but we can't be certain as to whether or not that's my hand on her,
Holy fuck.
whatever it is, left side.
You think that...
Because I have no recollection of that photograph ever being taken.
So why would somebody have put in another hand? You think it is you next to her in the photo?
Oh, it's definitely me. I mean, that's a picture of me. It's not a picture of. I don't believe it's a picture of me in London.
Oh.
When I go out in London, I wear a suit and a tie. That's what I would describe as those are my travelling clothes if I'm going overseas. So
if I'm in London, I'm always wearing a suit and a tie. If I go traveling or whatever, that's what I would describe as my traveling clothes when I'm overseas. Really? Man. He might as well just take... I've seen literal car crashes get cleaned up better than this thing.
I've got plenty of photographs of me dressed in those sorts of... sort of kit, but not there.
Just to clarify...
Okay, you know what? Actually, I just want to point this out very quickly, too. Another thing as well. This hasn't... Not exactly anything to do with the... Oh, by the way, this was him... like 2 days ago when Prince Philip died. But anyways, I just want to show this here because this is kind of cool, or funny. Why did I say cool? Jesus. Prince Andrew. Yeah. The point I'm trying to make? Okay, this right here. Hold on. You see this? With all these pins and medals and fancy things. What are they? I know he served, but like, I don't think when you're in the royal family, I don't think you serve the same way that everyone else does. Like, for example, Prince Harry, he served in Afghanistan, but he could not leave the base, from my understanding, because again, if ISIS or Al-Qaeda or whoever got a hold of him, that could be used for some pretty damn heavy leverage. And then the US and the... or at least England, the UK would be forced to negotiate. But like, that's what I'm saying. Look at these pins. Like, what is this, like... Do you deserve that many when you've served in the Royal Navy? And I'm actually asking. I'm Canadian. I'm not British. So, like, I mean, anyways. By the way, if this is what every single person who has served at the most basic level in the Navy wears, I take it back. I take back what I'm saying.
I think that photo has been faked.
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
And you don't recollect having your hand round her waist in Ghislaine Maxwell's house on any occasion, even if it was a different date?
I'm terribly sorry, but if I, as a member of the royal family, and I have a photograph taken and I take very, very few photographs, I am not one to, as it were, hug and public displays of affection are not something that I do.
When I was 12 years old, my guides told me.
So that's the best explanation I can give you. And I'm afraid to say that I don't believe that photograph was taken in the way that has been suggested.
So he doesn't believe he doesn't remember taking the photograph, but he doesn't believe that it was taken in the way that it's suggested? What else is it supposed to suggest? Did he go over to see Virginia Giuffre to help her with her school homework? Like, she was 17, I think, at the time. By the way, let me just see something here about the...
Why would people not believe that you were there?
I'm sorry, why would...
I'm just trying to understand. There's a photo inside Ghislaine Maxwell's house.
What? Sorry, guys. The reason why I'm pausing this so much is because there's so much to break down here. She just asked him, why would people not believe that you were there? Basically saying, she's basically asking him right now, what proof do you have that you're not lying? Basically.
Ghislaine herself is in the background. Why would people not...
Someone also asked, did Ghislaine, do you know about the theory that Ghislaine Maxwell had a Reddit account? She was like the third or fourth most, like biggest on Reddit because of her karma, like her points and stuff. Apparently that was her, yeah.
Believe that you were there with her that night.
They might well wish to believe it, but the photograph is taken upstairs, and I don't think I ever went upstairs in Ghislaine's house.
You're sure of that?
Yeah, because the dining room and everything was on the ground floor. Was as you came in the hall. So I don't remember ever going up there. I'm at a loss to explain this particular photograph. If the original was ever produced, then perhaps we might be able to solve it. But I can't.
You can say categorically that you don't recall meeting Virginia Roberts, dining with her,
Yep.
dancing with her at Tramp, or
Yep.
going on to have sex with her
Yes.
in a bedroom in a house in Belgravia.
I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
Do you recall any kind of sexual contact with Virginia Roberts then
None.
or any other time?
None whatsoever.
Because she said in a legal deposition,
Mhm.
a legal court document. The first was in London when she was trafficked to you. The second was at Epstein's mansion in New York.
And that is a date in April, I believe. Is that correct?
She said it was a month or so later.
Yeah. Well, I think that the date that we have for that shows that I was in Boston, or I was in New York the previous day, and I was at a dinner for the...
Okay, so first off, he said the date that we have. Okay, so if I was the interviewer, I would say, would it be so kind enough for, you know, the palace or whoever, I hate to even say that, but the palace to, you know, provide some evidence for that?
With Band Trust.
And the fact that he said that he was in New York, he should have just stuck to Boston. He shouldn't have said he was, I don't know.
York, and then I flew up to Boston the following day. And then on the day that she says that this occurred, they'd already left to go to the island before I got back from Boston. So I don't think that could have happened at all.
There was a witness there, Johanna Stolberg, who says that you did visit the house in that month.
Probably did. I don't think
He said he was never there, and then he just admitted now, I probably did.
The weird things, I was staying with because of what I was doing, I was staying with the Consul General, which is further down the street.
You see this? This is I'm already like halfway into. This is him going, Christ, I can't just get up and leave right now, but I gotta do something here. Like no one's throwing me a lifeboat here.
On 5th, so I wasn't staying there. I may have visited, but no, definitely no activity.
Because in a legal deposition, 2015, she said she had sex with you 3 times. Once in a London house when she was trafficked to you in Maxwell's house.
Yes.
Once in New York a month or so later at Epstein's mansion. And once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
You see, this is him being either he's about to wind up and deny, or he's being a jackass and he's pretending like he's about to admit it, and then he's just gonna go no. Either way, it just leads to denial, at least at this part.
No.
No to all of it.
All of it. Absolutely no to all of it.
Yeah.
Why would she be saying those things?
We wonder exactly the same, but I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
She made these claims in a US deposition.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying you don't believe her. She's lying.
That's a very difficult thing to answer because
How is that a difficult thing to answer? It's probably one of the most easiest things to answer in life. Is she lying? Yes or no?
I'm not in a position to know what she's trying to achieve, but I can tell you categorically, I don't remember meeting her at all. I do not remember a photograph being taken, and I've said consistently and frequently that we never had any sort of sexual contact whatever.
She spoke about you outside the court in August of this year.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I quote, "He knows exactly what he's done, and I hope he comes clean about it."
And the answer is nothing.
So if Virginia Roberts is watching...
So if he did nothing, I'm not even gonna. He's contradicting himself like crazy. He just said the answer is nothing. But how do you know if you can't remember? Anyways.
In this interview, what is your message to her?
I don't have a message for her because I have to have a thick skin. If somebody's going to make those sorts of allegations, then I've just got to have a thick skin and get on with it. But they never happened.
For the record, is there any way you could have had sex with that young woman or any young woman trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein in any of his residences?
No. And without putting too fine a point on it, if you're a man, it is a positive act to have sex with somebody. You have to take some sort of positive action. And so therefore...
Whoa. What's he talking about? If you're a man, it is a positive thing to have sex with... Okay, but... Whoa. Hold on. I gotta see this again. This is...
I don't have a message for her. Because I have to have a thick skin. If somebody's going to make those sorts of allegations, then I've just got to have a thick skin and get on with it. But they never happened.
For the record, is there any way you could have had sex with that young woman or any young woman trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein in any of his residences?
No. And without putting too fine a point on it, if you're a man, it is a positive act to have sex with somebody.
If you're a man, it's a positive act to have sex with someone, okay?
You have to take some sort of positive action.
You have to take some sort of positive action. Positive relative to who? Both consensual parties or just one? That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
And so therefore, if you try to forget, it's very difficult to try and forget positive action. And I do not remember anything. I can't.
So he just said if it's hard to forget a positive action. So in other words, he's basically saying from a man's perspective, when you have sex with someone, you never forget it. So if I did have sex with her, I wouldn't have forgotten it. That's basically what he's saying. And he's saying, so because I personally don't remember, I've never had sex with her. That's it, just, case closed right there, just like that.
Like my brain, I'm thinking, oh, well, when the allegations came out originally, I went, well, that's a bit strange, I don't remember this. And then I've been through it and through it and through it over and over and over again. And no, nothing. Never happened.
Epstein's housekeeper, also in a Florida court legal deposition, said that you visited the Palm Beach residence around 4 times a year. You got a daily massage.
4 times a year?
That was what he...
You see that? That's holy shit. I'm bullshitting and I got nothing. That's exactly what that is.
He said in a Florida court legal deposition.
No.
I'm just wondering, when you look back now, is there a chance that those massages might have been the services of someone who is being sexually exploited or trafficked by Epstein?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't think. I mean, no, definitely not.
Christ.
Definitely not. And I definitely did not visit his Palm Beach house 3 or 4 times a year. Absolutely not.
How many times would you say you visited?
In total, probably 4 times.
Whoa. He's saying in total. He only went to Epstein's Palm Beach, Florida mansion 4 times in total. That's what he's saying. In what? In the alleged 20 years that you knew Epstein? Apparently they met in 1999, Prince Andrew and Epstein. But according to, off the record sources, they really met in the late 80s, early 90s. But let's just say, okay, fine, they met in 1999. In the 20 years that he's known him, you only went to his Florida house 4 times.
In total, throughout the time that I knew him, in fact, probably that was the place that.
Hold on. T-Man asks, is he innocent? Well, T-Man, I would say no, but I'm not trying to deter you from formulating your own opinion. That's partly why we're doing this as well, so we can. Again, I'm just going to comment and present for you guys. Let's see here. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to try reading more comments, by the way.
That if you see what I mean, he was in the house more there than in other places that I was.
So that's where you'd find him.
But it was usually because I was going through and on somewhere else. So it was a day. That was it.
You said in your statement from the palace, at no time did I see, witness, or suspect any suspicious behavior.
Yep.
Virginia Roberts' legal team says...
This right here is, oh my God, she might call me out again. That's what that is right there. Let me just see if anyone's commenting. Let's see.
You could not spend time around Epstein and not know what was going on. You could not spend time around Epstein and not know what was going on.
If you are somebody like me, then people behave in a subtly different way. You wouldn't. First of all, I'm not looking for it. That's the thing. See, if you're looking for it, then you might have suspected now.
Camden says man should be a prince of Egypt. He's in denial. And also, by the way, let me see here. The Dre Lewis says he believes because of who he is that he can say anything. Yeah, basically, yeah. Let's see. Compton says a girl doesn't forget who they sleep with, trafficked or not. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, no, this is interesting.
With the benefit of a huge amount of hindsight and a huge amount of analysis, you look back and you go, well, was that really the way that it was, or was I looking at it the wrong way? But you don't go into these places, you don't go to stay with people looking for that.
You could
then...
So hold on. So he just said, if you remember, about 20 minutes ago, he said he was part of something called the Full Stop Campaign. If you look at what the Full Stop Campaign is, that was basically a I guess we could say an organization to prevent children from being sexually abused. And Prince Andrew, I think he was either on the board of it or he was the head of it or something like that. So he said it 20 minutes prior to just now, he said that if he went into Epstein's houses and he saw young girls and this and that, he would have noticed because he knew what to look for because he was on a committee or a program that was made to fight against that. And then just right now, he's saying, no, I wouldn't know where to look. I don't know.
Spend time around him. That was what they said. You could not spend time around him and not know.
Ah.
Your whole team can see your upper thigh.
These are the worst ones. The ones that you can't skip. I gotta get ad block.
The other aspect of this is that I live in an institution at Buckingham Palace which has members of staff walking around all the time. And I don't wish to appear grand, but there were a lot of people who were walking around Jeffrey Epstein's house. As far as I was aware, they were staff, they were people that were working for him, doing things. I, as it were, I interacted with them, if you were going to say good morning, good afternoon, but I didn't, if you see what I mean, interact with them in a way that was, you know, what are you doing here, why are you here, what's going on?
But you'd notice if there were hundreds of underage girls in Buckingham
Oh,
Palace,
God.
wouldn't you?
But sorry, you would notice if there were hundreds of underage girls in Jeffrey's house. Wasn't there. Not when I was there.
Oh, yeah. So not when he was there, okay. By the way, the fact that his eyes, his pupils have been dilated for this long, I don't know if you guys know, that's usually when you're in a high stressful, high tense situation and all that. So, I mean, we could say, he's not good with interviews, but I mean, this is too much. His pupils have been dilated for like 40 minutes now. This is way too much.
Now, he may have changed his behavior patterns in order for that not to be obvious to me.
You see what he just said there? Epstein may have changed, and everyone around him may have changed their behavior patterns so it wouldn't be obvious for Prince Andrew. That might be the only, like, sort of half-believable thing that he's ever said this whole interview, if he didn't know Epstein for as long as he did. Because if he knew him for only a couple years, you might be able to play that off and say, well, and then there'd have to be no witnesses, but there were witnesses. But you could still kind of say, well, being a royal, people tend to generally act a little bit more, upbeat and respectful around you. So maybe in order they change their tone around me. But even then, it still doesn't look good, because even if they did change their tone, or Epstein and them changed their behavior, it was just to lure Andrew in. So either way, let's see here. He doesn't know who goes in and out, but definitely knows that nobody was under it. Yeah, exactly. The man who does not sweat. He is basically to co-star an Epstein documentary on Netflix. He just didn't know he was being recorded. Let's see here. King Drunk. Good heart, too. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you're asking me to speculate on things that I just don't know about.
You seem utterly convinced you're telling the truth. Would you be willing to testify or give a statement under oath if you were asked?
Well, I'm like everybody else, and I would have to take all the legal advice that there was before I was to do that sort of thing.
He just said he'd have to take all the... Hold on, before we get into that, Kimberly says, this guy's such a horrible liar and his body language keeps giving him up. When looking up means they're making stuff up and not recalling from memory. Yeah, isn't it when you look to the left or the right, something like that? He doesn't... Bailey says he doesn't sweat because he's reptilian.
But if push came to shove and the legal advice was to do so, then I would be duty-bound to do so.
Look at how he does that. If the legal advice was to do so, I would be duty-bound to do so.
Because you've said there are many unanswered questions,
Yep.
Everyone affected wants closure. You would help to provide that closure.
If in the right circumstances, yes. I would.
Oh, she just said you would help to provide that closure. And he's like, in the right circumstances, yeah. Ooh, he shouldn't have said that. But hold on, let's just keep...
Because I think there's just as much closure for me as there is for everybody else. And undoubtedly, some very strange and unpleasant activities have been going on. I'm afraid to
Strange and unpleasant activity. That's a great way to put it.
say that I'm not the person who can shed light on it for a number of reasons. One of which is that I wasn't there long enough.
Oh.
And if you go in for a day, 2 days at a time, it's quite easy, I'm led to believe, for those sorts of people to hide their activities for that period of time and then carry on when you're not there.
Virginia Roberts' lawyers, legal team, say that they've asked for a legal statement
Did you see the interviewer's face just now? She's like, okay, let's move on.
from you. There is an active FBI investigation now. Would you be willing to provide that?
Again, I'm bound by what my legal advice legal advisors tell me.
Epstein was found dead
Yep.
in prison
Yes.
in August of this year.
Yep.
What was your response on hearing that he'd died?
Shock.
Some people think that he didn't.
Shock. Like, man, that was probably the most pre-planned. Did you see the way he just answered that? Shock. Yeah, no, I was shocked.
Take his own life.
Well, there again, I'm not one to be able to answer that question. I believe that centers around something to do with a bone in his neck, as to whether or not, if you commit suicide, that bone breaks or something. But I'm afraid to say I'm not an expert. I have to take what the coroner says, and he has ruled that it was suicide.
He has to take the word of what the coroner said, but hold on. There were two coroners. One of them said it was a suicide. An independent one said it wasn't. So again, having to do with the bone in his neck, the way that Epstein was found there when his body was examined, because Epstein's brother had an independent examination done, and that independent examination said extremely unlikely that he would have been able to kill himself in the way that he did based on what happened there. Also, by the way, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently William Barr, Trump's former attorney general, got a look of the footage, and apparently he deleted it. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. And for those who don't know, Attorney General William Barr's father was the head of the oh shoot, I forgot the name. It was the head of the school that Epstein started teaching at, that basically brought Epstein into all of his connections. It was William Barr's father, by the way. So it kind of interesting.
So,
He's dead. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, your old friend,
Yep.
was, victims say, complicit in his behaviour.
but that bit I can't help you with because I've no idea.
Do you think that she has questions to answer about her role in this?
But in the same way that I have questions to answer, in the sense of what was I doing?
What was
I
I
say
doing?
That I was there to my mind, be honourable and say to him, look,
He was there to be honorable. Okay.
you've been convicted. It would be incompatible for me to be seen with you. Unfortunately, somebody was standing around with a camera at the time and got a photograph of us. It's one of the very few photographs there are of us, but that was the case. If there are questions that Ghislaine has to answer, that's her problem. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to be able to comment one way or the other.
When was your last contact with her?
It was earlier this year, funny enough, in the summer, in the summer.
About what?
She was here doing some rally.
You see the interviewer's face? So, when was the last time you spoke to Ghislaine? He goes, it was early summer. Keep in mind, Epstein was arrested that same time, so just...
This was early spring, I think. It was long, because when was he arrested?
July.
No, it was before July.
Jesus Christ. Did you see that? Did you guys see that? He goes, no, I spoke to her at the summertime, early summer, funny enough. And then she's like, you know that Epstein was arrested that time. Oh, no, wait. I spoke to Ghislaine early spring. Hold on. When was he arrested? Oh, yeah. No, but I spoke to her way before. So that's basically like saying, yeah, no, like that does... He's asking her for the date, and then he's switching his answer on the like that. It doesn't work like that.
And that was the last time?
Yeah.
Did you discuss Epstein at all then?
No, actually, funnily enough, no, not at all.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't anything to discuss about him because he wasn't in the news. It wasn't, it was just, we'd moved on.
That's probably the most honest thing he said this whole thing. We'd moved on. That's probably the most honest thing he said.
I want to talk about moving on now.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Epstein is dead.
Yes,
The women are now being heard.
quite rightly.
Oh, bullshit. The women are now being heard. What a joke.
How do you move
And no, sorry, when he said quite rightly, that part, sorry, not the women are being heard, the quite rightly part.
on this?
No.
The results
Oh, we can skip
strongly
this one,
support
perfect.
that these beings are not closely related.
Well, it's an interesting way of putting it.
Bailey says, funny enough, no, not at all. Yeah, exactly. Tony says, "Give me a break." Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm carrying on with what I do. I
Ooh.
have a number.
Lunatic says, "We moved on, as in we decided to off him." That's not a... I didn't think of it like that, I'm not going to lie.
Number of things that I have been doing since 2011. They're pretty well organized, pretty successful, and so I'm carrying on and trying to improve those things that I'm already doing.
I wonder what effect all this has had on your close family. You've got daughters of your own.
It has been what I would describe.
By the way, for the record, I just want to say that according to Virginia Giuffre, the one that he raped 20 years ago, she was 17, and before they had sex, Andrew had said to her, apparently, according to Virginia, had said, "Oh, well, you know, my daughters are not that much younger than you." Whoa, like that's...
As a constant sore in the family. We all knew him. And I think that if we have a conversation about it, we're all left with the same thing. What on earth?
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to know. If anyone hears from the UK or anyone is familiar with what the Royals do, is their stuff actually legit? Like when he says that he started a bunch of successful programs and stuff, like I know that's considered their royal duties and stuff, but like do their programs actually benefit anyone in the UK? Like is it a legit thing? Because like don't they just have don't the Royals just do nothing all day? They just have foundations and go to events and stuff? Or am I wrong?
How did he get to where he was? What did he do? How did he do it? And so it's just a constant sort of gnaw. I mean, this first came out in 2011.
Race Lever says, "My daughters aren't that much younger or older than you equals worst pickup line ever." It's also quite disturbing too, Race, by the way, that as well too. The fact that you're about to sleep with someone who's about the same age as your daughter, like, fuck.
And it was a surprise to all of us because the photographs were published at a separate time to when I was there, and there was sort of a question about what was going on, and as a family we discussed it. And then in 2015, when the allegations were made in the deposition, there was a sort of this is the immediate family, not the wider family. The wider family couldn't be more supportive, but the immediate family, it was
the wider family. So like the Queen and Philip, who was alive at the time, couldn't be more supportive. I don't believe that for a second, but supportive as in like, quick, let's cover this up. Yeah, if that's what supportive means, yeah.
Well, what's all this about? And we all just we're at a loss. So it's just.
Has the episode been damaging to the royal family, to Her Majesty the Queen?
I don't believe it.
Okay, this has nothing to do with Prince Andrew, but this whole thing of like referring to the Queen as Her Majesty the Queen, I'm just curious, like what's the... It's not like 1750, it's not the year 1750, you know? Like I really, she's a human being like everybody else.
It's been damaging to the Queen, at all. Has to me. And it's been a constant drip, if you see what I mean, in the background that people want to know. If I was in a position to be able to answer all these questions in a way that gave sensible answers, other than the ones that I've given that gave closure, then I'd love it. But I'm afraid I can't. I'm just not in a position to do so because I'm just as much in the dark as many people.
How do you reconnect with the public then now?
But exactly what I'm doing, which is to use and to continue to work with pitch, to continue to work with idea and the things that I believe strongly in. I'm not somebody who does things in competition with people.
Slink says, surprised that his eyes didn't shapeshift. Yeah, exactly. Horg Lovanich, sorry my friend if I mispronounced your name, but when you say that they have loads of duties, are you joking or are you serious?
Oddly, I do things in collaboration with people. So I want people to work together to come to, as it were, a solution to a bigger problem. And so we got a number of people working together, particularly in the education field, particularly and also in areas of government and what they are doing, so that we're bringing everybody together, so that we're all pushing in the same direction.
Holy Christ!
An idea now does that. We've been going properly now for 2 years. We've got 3.5 million people who've got a badge. We've got 500,000, or just over 500,000 young people who are using the service, and I'm trying to think what...
Yeah, like that's what I mean when I say when he says that he's got 500,000 young people using the service, that the whole like whatever program that he started there. Are these people that like the government finds people to sign up just to make it look good, so it looks like the royals are doing something, or is this a legitimate thing? Like, I'm actually asking. I'm not sure.
But it's well, it's designed for 7 to 14-year-olds in the United Kingdom, and it turns out it's done from 5 to 95 around the world. So it's being done in 100 countries now. So we're slightly on the catch-up for this one.
I know we have to bring this to a
No,
close because we're running out of time.
Did you see that right there? He's like...
You've faced questions today on a very, very raw subject. There has never been an interview like this before. I wonder what that tells us about...
Hold on. Race Lever says, I feel like he really cares. He's got a number of people in the education field and badges. He's so huggable now. What were we thinking? Horg, oh, you're dead serious? Okay, never mind. If they actually do things, then I fully take that back. I'm just curious because, again, his reputation from this interview, I mean, not exactly the best in my opinion, so that's why, thank you, Horg, for clarifying that. I think SCP says, I think he was glad that it was done. Oh yeah. I wonder what he said after this interview when he went back and called his mother the queen, and she said, how did it go? I really wonder, because, like, I don't even think that BBC had to even edit this, but let's see. Kimberly says, some of the sick stuff they slip doesn't surprise me. Remember, they're trying to act relatable, and sometimes they accidentally slip the truth. They're not who they say they are, and far from relatable. Oh, absolutely.
About the way the royal family now confronts these difficult situations. Has there been a sea change?
I think that the problem that we face in the 21st century is social media. There is a whole range of things that you...
When he said social media, there's a whole range of things. Yeah, no. There's a whole range of people, discussing it for themselves and trying to expose the truth more. That's what I get from that. I mean, of course there's disinformation, but I've yet to see a single thing about Prince Andrew not doing these things. You know what I mean?
You face now that you didn't face 25 years ago because it was just the print media. And I think that to some extent there is a thick skin that you have to have. And again, I'm not a confrontationalist myself.
Oh, well, he's definitely not that. Horg says, I'm from Germany, hate that man. Like the UK and US a lot, but the Queen stands for something older than your country. I can respect the traditionalism, I guess, but I don't know, Horg, about about all the sensationalism, all of the extra, all about like the little things that just really I'll give you a quick example, and I'm not trying to debate you, Horg. I just want to say you raise a very good point. But for example, if I'm not mistaken, the royal family or I guess you could say they spent just over £300 million on plumbing for the I think it was Windsor Castle. I think it was. No, Buckingham Palace, sorry. Just over £300 million. That's like, with conversion, that's insane. Just for the plumbing. And that comes from Australian people's taxes. That comes from everyone who lives in the UK, their taxes, and Canadian people's taxes. Because they're all part of the Commonwealth.
I would prefer to be able to, as it were, resolve things in a way that is sensible.
Lunatic says because it was just the print media. Yeah, exactly. That they control. Exactly.
And so choosing to, as it were, get out there and talk about these things, it's almost a mental health issue to some extent for me, in the sense that it's been nagging at my mind for a great many years.
He just tried to say that the shit that he did in the past, basically, is a mental health issue because it's nagging him in his behind. You want to talk about not being accountable? Oof. Race Lever says, what the hell clogged that? 300 million. Yeah. There's something called the Royal Purse, basically. All Canadian, Australian, and United Kingdom. Oh, no. Sorry, Sir Shrulu. No, 300 million pounds. That's what I'm referring to. Let's see here. Hold on. SCP says, I think Epstein killed himself and got transferred to another body because he was a big deal in the elites. It's possible. Look, I wouldn't rule it out. OTR Rez says that just topped the cake.
I know that I made the wrong judgment and I made the wrong decision, but I made the wrong decision and the wrong judgment, I believe, fundamentally for the right reasons, which is to say to somebody, I'm not going to see you again. And in fact...
He made the wrong decisions for the right reasons. Okay.
From that day forth, I was never in contact.
Hey, Mike, what's going on from Wales? What's happening?
The subsequent allegations are what I would describe as surprising, shocking, and a distraction. But that's...
Glenn says he ain't the only one. Oh, I agree 100%.
I mean, there are all sorts of things that are on the internet and out there in the public domain that we just sort of go, well, yeah, but I'm afraid this is... it just never happened.
You've got
just
such a thick skin. I wonder if you have any sense now of guilt, regret, or shame about any of your behavior and your friendship with Epstein.
As far as Mr. Epstein is concerned, it was the wrong decision to go and see him in 2010. As far as my association with him was concerned, it had some seriously beneficial outcomes in areas that have nothing to do with what I would describe as what we're talking about today. On balance, could I have avoided ever meeting him? Probably not, and that's because of my friendship with Ghislaine. It was inevitable.
By the way, I'm just going to end this now because there's like a minute left. But the point is basically he's saying that Ghislaine was... there was one point through the interview, I forgot to pause it, I think. He said word for word, Ghislaine was the key element in all this. That doesn't sit well with Ghislaine being arrested and all that. But someone said, Tony said, let's take a vote. Guilty or not guilty? Let's go, yeah, let's see. SCP says Princess Diana exposed them a lot, and plus her quote-unquote accident is a 1,000-page documentation no one can see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Guilty. Well, everyone, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I want to know all of your opinions if you think we should keep doing this, once or twice a week, in addition to, the regular episodes that we do. If you guys like this, where we kind of break down some of the ridiculous things that the elites have done publicly. I don't think I'll call it a segment, but it'll be a live stream on Twitch and YouTube. Let me know in the comments if you think that we should keep doing stuff like this. Because, I find it fun. I don't know about all of you, but I find it fun. Like, it's right in our faces. That's like...
That we would have come across each other. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming?
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
I totally forgot that part. He just said, he goes, Epstein we now know he conducted himself in a way that was unbecoming. And good on the interviewer. She goes, unbecoming. He was a sex offender. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Unbecoming. So what? I can go rape someone, and I acted unbecoming. I was unbecoming. It's fine. Let's just, that's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that he was a sex offender. But no, was I right in having him as a friend at the time, bearing in mind this was some years before he was accused of being a sex offender? I don't think there was anything wrong then. The problem was the fact that once he had been convicted, I stayed with him. And that's the bit that
what a joke.
As it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis, because it was not something that
because kicking yourself that's it. You kick yourself, and you really understand what it means to get away with shit.
was becoming a member of the royal family, and we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down. Simple as that.
This interview has been exceptionally rare. You might not speak on this subject again. Is there anything you feel has been left unsaid that you would like to say?
Is there anything left unsaid?
No, I don't think so. I think you've probably dragged out
Jesus Christ.
most of what is required, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity that you've given me to be able to discuss this with you.
Your Royal Highness, thank you.
And okay, look, I know she kind of has to say it, but like when she says Your Royal Highness, this is the problem. It's 2021, and nothing's gonna change. Mainstream media and don't do their own research, right? So I bet you there, maybe not a lot, but I bet you there's a good chunk of people that I would dare say, I'm not joking, sort of are on Prince Andrew's side. Maybe not publicly, but. Like, the real, the what's the word? The royal fans, if you want to call it. And look, I'm nothing against those people, but how can you fall for this? That's what I'm trying to say. Hold on, let me read some comments before we finish this up. Keith says he's an arms feeler. Oh, arms dealer. I thought you meant like arms feeler, like when he rapes them. No, never mind. Let's see. Slink says, and yet some people defend this man. I can't. Yeah, exactly. Okay, sweet. Yeah, we'll do this again. All right, cool. It's fun for sure. Awesome, cool. Horg says, sure, but be prepared on the subject. If I wasn't prepared on the subject, I'm sorry. I'll do more preparation next time. But there were a couple things, I think, like the when I asked about the pins and the badges and all that, I can't even think right now, but the military stripes, the medals, the military medals. But the other thing, too, though, is that actually, you know what, yeah, I don't care, I'm trying to downplay him. Did he even serve, like, the way that every other average UK citizen served? Because, again, you look at, for example, Prince Harry, the guy wasn't allowed to leave the Afghanistan base because, again, if he got kidnapped, that's huge for the UK to have to negotiate with terrorist groups and stuff like that, right? Let's see here. Debbie says he's waiting for Chris Hansen to walk in. Race says, royal fans blow. Sir Shrulu says he's praying there's no police outside when he leaves. He won't leave the where he lives. He won't leave the property. Never mind going to the States anymore. He won't leave the property. Oh, you want to... Okay, hold on. I'd like to know, for those that are still here, Keith said that Alex Jones just got laughed out of Yale. Oh, huh. For those that are still here, I would just like to know, what should we do next? What do you guys and girls recommend? What should we watch next? What should we analyze next? We'll probably do it, I guess, probably Thursday, because we got a Kraken interview coming out Friday. So, what should we do next? Any suggestions, anybody? Actually, I'm gonna check the. Holy crap, I totally forgot about the Twitch stream chat. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. Analyze modern day cartoons. Nicole says analyze modern day cartoons. I'm seeing cartoons encouraging kids to wear masks, and there was a South Park episode about Epstein and Hollywood. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, let's. I want to. We gotta pick something if we're gonna do this again Thursday. We gotta pick something for sure. Oh, Mahario says, do you guys think that raping children should be punishable by death? Well, that's it's not for me to say. I mean, it's again because raping children. It's not a. Let's see here. Someone said Dr. Fauci, the Oprah, Meghan, and Harry interview. Is that one like? Is that similar to this, the Oprah, Meghan, and Harry one? That's what I'm curious about. Yeah, Keith said he was already banned from the... Yeah, basically, if Andrew goes to the States, who knows what's going to happen there. That's the funny thing. Let me read some Twitch comments. Nicole says, this whole interview is just going in circles. I don't remember. I may have been there. I was never there. I don't remember. Order 66 says he was sacrificed by the Lizard Queen. Genius says he was killed in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Oh, for sure. Marfin says nervous stuttering. Oh, but Oprah didn't ask the hard questions. Oh, I see. Electric blank space says electric chair. Oh, for people who rape children. Yeah, that's yeah. That Race says, let's analyze something chill next time, like an old school Richard Simmons workout video or something. I don't know if I should laugh at that or not. Like, not at you, what you said, Race. I'm just saying, like, the workout video, the Richard Simmons workout video. Let's see. SCP says, you should see the document the CIA declassified about psychic abilities. Did they? What happened with Keith says, what happened with Trudeau and Kevin Annette? Race says you can follow the workout while we critique. If they stripped Andrew's title, the NDA by security is null and void. Horg says, a show about people trying to unite the U.S. again. Okay. The Armchair Priest says, I want to know what happened to Trump being a government informant back in the early thousands for the first Epstein case. Was he? I didn't even know that. Or was there like any type of rumor that he was at the time? Hold on. What did Armchair say? Because someone... Alicia said second to Armchair. I second Armchair. What's that? Let me see. Shit. Well, sorry, I don't know where Armchair said this, but yeah. So basically, everyone, that's it. We'll find something to do. Maybe I'll put a poll out or something like that. And for Thursday, hopefully we'll do it Thursday. I want to try to do this twice a week. No guarantee on the actual days, but it'll probably be a weekday. And then we'll also stream. We'll do the usual stream as well too, but we'll also use the software I'm using now so we can look stuff up and whatever, right? Let's see here. Oh yeah, people are saying to hit the like button. I appreciate that. I don't really believe in asking for that kind of stuff, but if you guys can, I think it would help the algorithm. Which I would appreciate, but again, we're finishing up now anyways, so. Blake Volley says aliens. Let's see. Nicole says, what is your opinion on Alex Jones? That's quite a long one. He's been right about a lot of things. There's some things I think he does go a little bit over the top with for entertainment purposes, but I could be wrong, and I don't necessarily blame him if he does do that. Again, he's also trying to make a living, but I think that, I mean, look, there's speculation that he's controlled opposition. It's hard to say. It really is, but let's see here. There's a 100p says there's an off-world satanic presence trying to destroy the human race. It feeds off negative energy and people suffering. Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Horg. I appreciate that. Let's see. Camden says everyone check out his Patreon. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't, if you like this kind of stuff, check out Patreon. Let's see. Monochromatic says the Archons. Nicole says I'm wary of using Twitch. It's owned by Amazon now. Like, okay, here's the thing with Twitch. We'll go until we get kicked off. Basically, I mean, I don't know what we're doing wrong per se, but you know. Oh, blank space. Thank you. Oh, the 6. Thank you for that. Let me see. Slink says analyze predictive programming, cartoon, movies, animes, etc. Analyze predictive programming, cartoon. Yeah, we'll look into all this. We'll do a lot of this. Yeah. Truth or Theory. Oh, thank you, Truth or Theory. I appreciate that. You guys got to check out the Truth or Theory podcast. These are great group of guys. Seriously. Let's see here, man. I honestly don't think that there's another interview like this. Like, this was bad. This was so bad. Let's see here. Someone informed the chair priest that there's a Freemason group called the Order of Q. Found. Oh, I can't. Sorry, brother. I can't talk about that on here. But yeah, this stuff. COVID chip just announced. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. There was a thing about this. COVID chip. Microchip that detects COVID under your skin. Yeah, but you're about. Microchip that will detect COVID-19 when inserted under the skin. They're not being disseminated via vaccine. Was developed by DARPA, spawns